Yo, 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 in the building. All right, just waiting on my man Cam to jump on. Hold on, let me turn my headphones down a little bit, a little loud here. Waiting on Cam to jump on. Anyhow, listen, y'all, welcome to another live episode of Mindfully Misunderstood. I am one half of. I am your host, Sir Charles the God. Listen, we got a lot to discuss. Got a lot to discuss. Waiting on my man Cam to jump in. Should be coming on any minute. Got to discuss Mr. Ye's fall from grace. And definitely have to discuss today's trending topic. Let me check me out, man. I don't know how I'm streaming right now. I'm having big problems with this. How I'm streaming right now. Oh, sure. I'm having big problems. Yeah, see, I'm struggle streaming. Let's see, I keep trying to upgrade my internet and it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, take a break. Try to come back, see what's going on. Right back. All right, let's see how that looks. Switch to a different word. Any better? Uh, Check that out. Testing. Testing, testing. One, two. Am I struggle streaming? Looks a little better. I don't know. Waiting on Cam to jump in, so I don't want to get to cooking and be back. Cam to official.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
There we go. My
All
bad.
right. Hey, Frederick, what's going on? Good evening, sir. How are you?
Man, I can't complain, man. How are you this evening?
Man, I'm super blessed, brother. Super blessed, especially considering today's trending topics. I have a lot to be thankful for, as do you, I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Just want to apologize to the people. We had some technical difficulties that we had to iron out, and but we're here now, and I think we're
Yeah,
doing
I'm a
good.
fat boy, man. I had to eat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Um, but yeah. So let's get into it. As you know, two of the trendiest topics of today is Mr. Kanye West, or shall we say, Ye, because don't want to be
Yeah.
disrespectful. Mr. Ye, his fall from grace, and the untimely demise of Mr. Takeoff from the Migos. Very unfortunate, but we'll get into it. Now, we had a discussion earlier. You said you watched the interview from Drink Champs.
I watched a full 3 hour. I watched a full 3 hour John
Okay,
twice.
okay. Now, uh, quick question: is Ye crazy or is he genius? And I preface that. I should have prefaced that question with the quote. There's a thin line between insanity and genius, right? Whereas a lot of higher the people on the higher intellectual spectrum tend to be a little weird, or maybe a lot weird, but
Yeah.
very intelligent. So sometimes when Kanye goes on his antics, we don't know if he's crazy or if he's actually genius. So what do you think, based on the conversation that you've seen on Drink Champs?
um, I think that he has. I think that he has uh, a goal set in mind that he wants to. Um, I think he wants to. From what I hear, I think he wants to be in the room where what I'm saying, where these billionaires are, and I think I would like to think he wants to help in a way that they have, so like how they have influence on like the media, um, what I'm saying, what we get to see, what we don't get to see,
Mm-hmm.
banks, the flow of money, shit like that. I think Ye wants a seat at that table, to kind of delegate, to his people, so to speak, in a way that he thinks that will help. Uh, now, how that would play out, I don't necessarily know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that it's interesting that Ye is getting the backlash that he's getting when it comes to talking about, I guess, like the Jewish people. Because I mean, everybody talks about niggas all the time, and you never hear an uproar about, what I'm saying, what gets said about us, you know. So I find that aspect of it, especially because it is so, like, he has every right to feel the way that he feels. He has every right to voice his opinion because he's actually in these rooms with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I like to always say I like to be where I'm celebrated, where I'm not, or where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. So I think he's gotten to a place where he he wants to be he wants to be like this all in power type of being, and like he wants to be like the voice of the people, but he doesn't really necessarily know how he's going to do that yet.
Okay. So now, what? Perhaps I'm oblivious to, and I'm almost embarrassed by saying this, but what what is the grievance that people are having with Jewish people? Because I mean, the way I see it, and I could be totally brain dead on this. The way I see it, I mean, just because people are in a powerful position, I mean, and you people are tribal people. So
Yeah.
typically people are going to look out for their own first and foremost, as we should, which I think we should, take notes. Uh, what what are some egregious acts that the Jews have, or can we say Jews? Is that all right? I mean, what are some? I don't know. What are some egregious acts that Jews have done to people? I do know that they are very powerful, and
I
I
mean,
guess my position on it is that if you have a problem with a handful of persons, you err when you include the whole group.
yeah,
Like I may have a problem with a black person, but I'm not gonna say all niggas, or what, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean,
And so
I mean, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
mean, so yeah, there may be some abuses of power. That reminds me of that quote, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right? Meaning, when you are in extreme positions of power, it's highly likely that you could abuse that. And I'm sure there's some abuses going on. But to attack the whole people, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what what was the gain on that, because there's never going to be a world without other people other than black people. So at some point, we have to learn how to do good business in good faith and be respectful towards each other. You can never. I'm just saying. I think he was errant in including a whole group.
Yeah. And he said something in like a certain part of the interview where he basically said like, I want Jewish people to, or I want like little, he said, and don't quote me on this, I'm just paraphrasing, but he basically said, I want Jewish kids to ask their fathers like, why is Ye mad at us? You know what I'm saying? And that to me, it's like if you have a grievance with someone, um you can have a grievance with that person, but let it just be with that individual. Like if he has a grievance with the people that are in these rooms, which he name dropped a good amount of billionaires, whatever, but like let it just be those people. Don't let it be, a full range of, or you saying like the whole Jewish culture. um the second point to that is, uh it kind of reminds me of, well, nah, I'm not gonna say that. We'll just move past
All right,
that. I
hold on.
won't say it.
Let me. I want to share this clip right fast. Uh, do this. Okay. Hold on.
Kanye West, under fire, vilified, his business partners jumping ship after all that hate speech. Yes, it's another episode of Kanye West, the embattled billionaire. Oh, sorry, slight title change. Oh no, but yes, demoted. And what was the final nail?
And Adidas announced it has cut ties with Kanye West and the Yeezy brand. But more upsetting to him, Forbes now says he's not a billionaire anymore.
A couple years back, Forbes valued Kanye's net worth at $1.3 billion.
Now they say after this, it's about $400 million.
$400 million? So does Kanye get alimony from Kim now?
Well, he's still got real estate, his music catalog, and a nifty 5% of Kim's skims. As for Adidas, they say they expect to lose nearly $250 million this year by ending the deal.
Adidas bungled this. By waiting so long, you lose the juice of the moral outrage.
They said that their partnership was under review. That was before the anti-Semitic remarks.
They could have pulled the plug immediately on the anti-Semitic remarks.
And they did.
After Boycott Adidas started trending, they had to be done with this.
What happens to Kanye now?
I guess he put out like a...
So they took that man. I mean, it's not funny, but they took that man from one point. Well, at one point he was saying he was worth $6 billion. No. And then I seen a video say he himself said he was worth 11 billion. Who knows? All we know is, $1 billion plus, definitely. Now he's down to 400 million. And they saying it could get worse because essentially he has a lot of bills to pay. So now he could very well be below 400 million.
Excuse me.
That being said, it just goes to show, I know money ain't everything. I get it. But I would think that a person of his level of intellect would be a little bit smarter in his approach, because am I wrong in saying that I don't think all Jewish people are evil? Hell, I had Jewish lawyers before they worked swimmingly on my behalf.
We always preach on, not categorizing people into one category, but we as a people, we seem to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I don't necessarily know what was going through his head at the moment, and maybe he was just trying to get out of whatever deals that he had at the time. But I think that the way that Kanye feels, I think he should take that. The way that he feels, I think that he should take that to the people that he's in those rooms with.
Yeah.
Not to the whole fucking culture.
Because I promise you, if black folks were in the same position of power and someone came out and said all black folks XYZ, whatever disparaging remarks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Collectively we're gonna oust you, sir or ma'am, whoever you are. We're gonna oust you. The issue is that we got so much cleaning up within our own households, and when I say that, I mean of the black race, to whereas we just need to start getting along first, and then we could talk about amassing some level of power.
Exactly.
Shortly thereafter, he went on an apology tour. Did you see any of those videos where he was?
I did not actually. Even then, I feel like if the damage is already done, you said what you said, you might as well stand on it. You feel me? I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you meant what you said, or else you wouldn't have said it. So I feel like you going on an apology tour, that don't mean shit.
Yeah. And who the hell is his publicist, man? He needs to hire me. I would respond. See, and I know what happens is whoever's working for him, he's running all over him. He telling him, shut the hell up or you get fired. But I'm saying, I personally believe if I was his publicist, I would have had to just had a fight out with him. No, listen, you don't put this out. You're crazy. Because and it goes to show when you start apologizing, then you're backtracking on your words, essentially. And as a man, I personally believe if you said something, stand on that. No matter what the consequences or repercussions are, stand on it. That's what men do. And
10 toes
so,
down, chest out.
hey man, but I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have billions of dollars and then lose it overnight. But I would have never said no goofy shit like that because, listen, I work with all races of people, and I tell you what, one thing that I've learned is that people just want to do business with people who do good business, largely. Now, you do have some people out here who just want to, get over on folks, but those people are quickly found out. So even me, with me being in, full-time entrepreneurship, most of my clients or people that I do business with are Caucasian men. So now if I go on a rant to say because a couple white men have done me wrong or what have you, then I go on a rant and say all white people, blah blah blah. Man, I can expect to really hurt my own bag, hurt my own brand. I can expect that, and I don't even consider myself a genius.
Mhm.
Kanye considering himself, I think most people would argue that Kanye is a genius. Okay, we got my man Sir Hales in the building. Sir Hell's in the building. People would argue that
Come on, brother.
Kanye's a genius. How's it going, brethren? You're muted. But
Good to see you, man. Sir Charles, good to see you. Kel, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
hey, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining. I'm sure you've probably been beating this subject home, and we got the other topic of today coming up after this. But Kanye, genius or insane right about now? What's your take on it? Is
He's G-sane.
G-sane? Now, you being a very learned man, Sir Hell, what is the issue with the J community that has I've heard many talks from Mr. Minister Louis Farrakhan, and but I don't really know, and I'm asking. I want to learn what have they done that has people up in arms outside of obtaining power, the power that they have.
I have no idea. If you guys can give me some information, I'll be most appreciative. But
Okay.
up until now, though, I can't say that I know of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would almost think to say, at least from what I know, the couple Jews that I know,
Can we say Jew?
That I've had in my life personally, a lot of them do business based off of Bible principles. You know what I'm saying? So I think that has a large impact on how they do business. And for the people that I've had people tell, like, we've all heard when somebody fucks you over in business, they say that it's not personal, it's just business. But that speaks to the type of, to me, that is very personal, because that speaks to the type of person that you are. So you saying like, oh, it's not personal, it's just business. No, it's very personal. You fucking me over is very personal.
Absolutely.
So
it's kind of like what, remember I was telling you earlier when you said, I don't mean no disrespect. And then normally when someone says I don't mean any disrespect, yeah, disrespect is imminent. It's right on the horizon.
Yeah. So I think that speaks largely to a person's character, and I think that they've done a great job of doing business just solely off of Bible principles. So,
and it's great you bring that up, actually, because Myron Golden, a guy who I follow, he's a marketing genius. He actually does like wealth building from a biblical standpoint, and he did an episode talking about how the Jews amassed so much power, basically utilizing biblical principles, such as "oh no man," or I can't I can't really articulate the scriptures, but paying debts when you owe them, being a person of your word. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. And so he did a whole lecture on, essentially, if you want to amass the level of wealth or the level of power that they have, simply following these steps, you could potentially get there too. There's a great chance you could get there too. So I think this is a moment for us to learn from them, but I'm not jealous or mad at someone because they have they're very powerful.
Yeah, and I think that's where Ye is at. I think he's very jealous at the power that they hold.
He actually said that he was jealous.
Yeah, he doesn't hold the same power. And this might sound corny, but with that type of power comes great responsibility. And a lot of times, like, especially for us, like, we get into a position of power, and the first thing that we do is we shit on each other.
Ooh,
you know
man,
what I'm
look,
saying?
You about to bring me to this lock. I don't know what I'll say. Lock set. Takeoff. This Takeoff situation.
Yeah, we can go straight into that. I think that's a great segue. But a lot of times we do things to impress people that couldn't give two fucks about what we got going on.
That's real. And
you
know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, well, that reminded me of the fact that, when you said we do things to impress people that don't necessarily care about us, that is largely the reason why we squander a lot of our wealth. And then we look at other cultures and nationalities, and we say, well, why can't we have what we have? First and foremost, it's going to start with managing properly what you already have. That is why I've subscribed to minimalism, which is an unpopular way of life among African Americans, because we love to shop, we love to have the next best thing, and we love to be able to crap on each other. Hey, and we love to be able to show you or each other that we have it when many of us don't. Many of us look like we have it and we don't. And we're our own worst enemies. That, which is another segue into the Takeoff thing. Sir Hell, do you have anything on this Ye situation before we carry on?
Yeah, so I think when he was saying he was jealous, I think that we took the word literally, but I didn't hear him as from that. I heard him as an artist. And when I heard him say that he was jealous, to me, he had like a strong conviction that he wishes we had that. You know what I mean? It's like not the kind of jealousy where I don't want you to have it, but you look and be like, dang, out of all the stuff we went through, why can't I have it too? I think that's kind of how I took him when he said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how I took it as well. However, when you pair that with a DEFCON, what do you say, DEFCON 10 or something? That three. Now, first of all, he misspelled it, which I was wondering if that was intentional, because when he said DEFCON, death, that's death, which the true term is DEF, comes from the military. For people who don't know, it's a defense, a level of defense that the nation is on, or the military is on at any particular time. So DEFCON, DEF, defense, I forget, defense, it's a level of defense. Well, when he said DEFCON, though, it was like,
Yeah.
And then you pair that, when you pair that with the jealousy thing, I knew where he was going with it, but essentially, you can't be jealous of in my mind, and I don't claim to be a genius at all, although I think I'm very smart, but I don't claim to be. But when you pair that with, when you say you're jealous of a people, I can't be jealous. I can't be jealous of hey, Sir Hale been putting major work in to build his network. I can't be jealous of him because I'm not putting in the same work. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the same framework within your community, or some people would say we don't have a community, but within the African American community, you don't have the same framework to attain such a level of power. So instead of being jealous, take notes. take notes. What are they doing? And then bring it back to the people. That's my position on it. You know, yeah, I wish we could value our relationships enough to where we make them work. We value our children enough to where we don't abort them as a means of contraception, you know, or birth control. I mean, and we can actually do good business with each other. We can show up when we say we're going to show up. We're going to do what we said we're going to do. We're going to pay you when we owe you. These things like that. When we can do that, man, I mean, listen, and I think it's reported that among African Americans, the spending power we're like the seventh. They say we would be like the seventh largest country as it pertains to spending power, like actual wealth. But guess what we spend our money on? I think Umar Johnson did a video on this. Mercedes Benzes, Hennessy, Jordans.
$3 million on chicken sandwiches.
Come on now. And so,
hey, I was with you guys until the chicken sandwiches, guys. I was with you until then.
He said, "Good evening. Thanks for joining." But listen, so that's my position on it, man. I was really hoping to, like, maybe somebody can open my eyes to what that community has done that has people so up in arms. Because even with me, I am a follower of Minister Louis Farrakhan. I think that guy is a very wise man, great orator. I think he really means well for his people, but I didn't really understand what as I've been following him over the years, I really don't understand what the issue is with the J community. Can we say Jews? Is it? I don't know.
I just say Jews.
I have no idea.
I don't mean no disrespect, but
would you say it? Hey, Sir Hill, would you say it on your show?
I haven't. So because I don't, like, at this particular time.
You don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know. But I like the question you pose, because I think it's when you have power and success, you're going to attract the worst of people, because everybody wants power and success. But when I look at it, I don't know anybody who's productive legally. I think I can learn something from them. If you're productive legally, I can learn from you. And I don't really care what the background really is. If it's legally, you know what I mean, and you're productive. And of course, there's some other principles and stuff. Like, I can't have you, slapping babies. I can't have you doing stupid stuff. And just because you're successful, you have some integrity. But when I look at our Jewish brothers and sisters, I'm not sure what the anger. I'm not sure where that comes from.
Yeah. If someone in the chat can let us know, or if you want to cam up, let me know. I'll drop the link. But yeah, so we're gonna carry on. Nice segue into this other topic. I'm gonna share the screen here. Boop, 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 boop. I actually have two clips I want to share regarding this situation. So, boom, we'll go there, and then boom.
Back at 7:30, we continue to follow breaking news. Rapper Takeoff from the popular group Migos has been shot and killed. TMZ said the 28-year-old was shot dead at a bowling alley in downtown Houston. There are conflicting reports as to whether another member of Migos, Quavo, was also shot. We're working to confirm that for you, but we do know that Quavo was, we're trying to figure out whether or not he was hurt. The pair were reportedly playing dice at the alley when an altercation began and someone opened fire. Takeoff was pronounced dead at the scene. This is a developing story. We are working to get more details. Stay with Fox 5 as we get the very latest for you.
Rapper Takeoff. Now, I'm sure this story has been beat up by YouTubers across the land, but I couldn't help but to jump on it because
is reporting
hold on.
that
what's going on?
Takeoff, 1/3 of the rap group of Migos, is dead after an early morning shooting in Houston.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I wanted to offer another lesson of stoicism on top of this. But first and foremost, we got to start with the hood shit. Okay. I just want to offer this position right quick. I think when you reach a certain level of success, certain things you need to cut out. And these are This is the 4-sentence Bible for successful people that come from the hood. Don't do stupid things at stupid times. Don't do stupid things in stupid places at stupid times with stupid people. I know a lot of us, who've come from that area, we think, hey, I want to keep it real. I need to keep it real. And you want to keep your foot in the hood. But I'm gonna let y'all speak a little bit, but at the end of the day, what we need to focus on is that if you got out of the hood, then you're in a comfortable position. You go back, it's not the same. At the end of the day, you're like shark food going back into the shark tank where people are struggling, and you got to change your environment. You can't keep doing the same things. I don't and this needs to be a lesson for people. I don't know. What do you two have on before I go too deep on it?
I think we got me personally, I think we got too many examples of, what I'm saying? We saw what happened to Nipsey. We saw what happened to, Mo3. We saw what happened to Young Dolph. I mean, I feel like how many artists do we need to really go down the line and list for us to understand, like, when we get to a certain level of success, there is a certain way you have to move. You have to have the right people around you to keep you out of the dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. I think that, like, what happened to him was senseless. And the first, it almost upsets me because it's like I won't say it almost upsets me. It does upset me because it's a life lost over nonsense. I don't give a fuck what happened, who said what, because at the end of the day, like, they're all words, and that could have been handled with your hands and not a gun. And I feel like, especially like my generation, I feel like we are so quick to pick up a gun than we are to actually throw hands, because I feel like my generation really can't fight. That's the reason why we, what I'm saying, we'll rather shoot you than to fight you. And to me, that shit is crazy. You would rather pick up a gun than to take your ass whooping, shake hands at the end of the day, and have a mutual respect for one another,
and live to see another day, like Pop
you
said.
feel me? Like,
that's
to me, I think that's so silly. Like, we aren't even man enough to, like, respect each other enough to say, yo, this man has kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, like, just the little things, like, if you fought him, you know what I'm saying, you want your rematch or whatever, and then y'all shake hands after that and know, like, y'all good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we don't have that type of respect for one another no more. It's like an automatic, like, you disrespect me, I'm automatically going to the pistol. I don't care if I got to serve life in prison or whatever. Like, these choices that these guys are making, they not thinking about the after effect, not only for the families that they hurting, but their families that they're gonna hurt, because now you got to spend life in prison. It's already enough of us in prison, and you just adding to the book.
Come on, man.
So,
Sir Hill, you have anything on this subject?
Yeah, this is why, and like, when I do these conversations, I don't want to hear us talking about what the white man is doing.
Come on now.
I don't want to hear who's holding us back, because we're still perpetuating violence against each other for the most stupid reasons. Now, let's say someone is attacking somebody and assaulting them and doing them some harm. You got to step in. Over a dice game, though, that's not there's no pistols needed for this, right? And to see another black man, at some point, we're gonna have to start valuing life. And I've learned something. And Sir Charles, I've learned this. You know, I moved from Illinois, from where we used to live, and I always want to go back because you got this thing where I want to go back and I just want to remember the good times. You got to remember the good times. You don't go back to relive the good times, because there's a reason why you got up out of there. And I think a lot of us feel guilty when we make it or we do better, and we feel obligated to go back. I think it's better for us to pull people where we are than to go think that we still got the same connection to where we used to be, because that's how we get ourselves hurt. So my thing is, for everybody who's becoming successful, be okay with being successful and moving on. And people who want to catch up to you, let them catch up. But don't think that it's going to be the same way, you going back to where you used to be and thinking that y'all friends, because then people who you think are your friends are hating on you.
Man, that's real. Ooh, that's real. And let me tell you something real quick. Sir Hill, I drive through Beacon Hill to reminisce, but I'm hiding behind 5% tent. Okay? Hey, 5%, because I rode through one time in the fishbowl and somebody flagged me down and was like, hey, man, and I was like, nope, never again. Because I still want to get the feel, but I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. They still on some other stuff. Cats we grew up with, almost 50 years old, still doing the same shit. Still, a lot of them still in their parents' house. Man, I ain't gonna hear. But anyhow, that's another story. It reminded me, with the whole reliving the good times. I mean, a lot of these hoods, the guys that come from the hood, were they really good times or were they good at the time? Because
hold on, Sir Charles, that was bars right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, I'm gonna clip it. Was it really good times or was it good at the time because you didn't know any better? Right now, now we're in positions where we're taking vacations, exotic countries, doing stuff that people only see on TV. I really don't feel a need to really stop and really mingle with the people who are doing the same things they was doing when I was 16. I don't feel the need. And here's the thing: when we talk about this, these guys very successful, very influential. You go back to the hood. Okay, so here's the thing: when you're in the hood, you have to adopt this certain griminess about you. You're hungry. You're trying to make it. You're essentially trying to get out and explore what's beyond the hood. Well, once you get out of the hood, you amass a certain level of success. You get comfortable, right? And so now you don't have that same hunger and griminess that you once had. But then you go back to the hood and you think you could still relate. Well, the problem is you're like food in a shark pool. You're going back to where the sharks are and you look like a meal. You draped up and dripped out with the jury. Everybody knows you. And you don't think someone's going to get jealous? You don't think somebody's going to get jealous? I mean, and try to do something. And if you want to gamble, which I'm not a proponent of gambling, because mainly because I have terrible luck, terrible luck. But if you're going to gamble, go to a casino. Go to where other people are playing $10,000 a hand. Go there. Why would you go to the hood where you got, granted it was but I just don't think, that's just my opinion, and I just don't think that was a smart move on their part. What are your words?
So I feel like I'm always torn with how I feel in, especially in a situation like this, because you shouldn't have to, realistically, we all grew up playing dice. We all grew up playing cards as a family, and I feel like I shouldn't have to wonder whether I'm gonna get shot in a dice game or not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that's whether we want to agree with it or not, I feel like that is something that's family oriented, right? because you grow up doing stuff like that. So I shouldn't have to worry about my safety after an argument with an individual because you didn't like what I said. The second thing to that, and it made me think about it. So I said something once to a group. I said, I don't see how we can get mad at, or how you don't get equally as mad when a young black man kills another black man, but we'll get outraged when a white cop kills a black man. I stood on, I feel the same anger, because why are we still making it okay to kill each other? Why are we still making excuses for us to kill each other? But yet we'll go and we'll march and we'll have on these Black Lives Matter t-shirts when shit like that happens, but we won't do the same thing when we killing each other. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of slack for that. I feel just as mad when I hear, especially what we kill each other for. Like, that shit like grinds my fucking gears. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to jump in like Double Dutch on that point.
Go ahead. All
right, like Double Dutch. Hey, I grew up with all sisters, so you know, don't judge me. They used to make me turn Double Dutch. Here's the thing, real quick. I agree with you, but I would like to offer a little pushback.
Okay.
Because the outrage. Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, we do kill each other. Yes, we do perpetuate the killing of each other. Mm-hmm. We actually praise it, the killing of each other. I agree with that. However, one thing's for sure. If the shooter is found, he's going to jail. That's for sure. So okay, so justice at that point is meted out. The killer got found and he's put away. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I feel you.
The flip side of it is, if someone else does it, they can get found, and they could be guilty as hell in the eyes of public opinion, but get let off. Oh, we don't see anything here.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
pay with leave.
Mainly, this is because the people who are in power, perhaps, they may be thinking the same thing, which goes back like, hey, they like killing each other. Why would I? You know, it's fair game. You know, it's open season on the Negroes. Why would we prosecute any of our own? It's open season. 12 months a year, open season on the Negroes. Kill one, bring the tag back. You know, you get 100 kills a year, you know, like they do deer or some shit. Listen, what I'm saying is that's just what I'm saying is that's the only difference that I've viewed in those arguments, is that a black man killing another black man, that black man will go to jail. Why? Because first of all, the prosecutor and everyone else involved got to get notches under their belt for closing the case. Secondly, it fuels the prison system, where that's a multi-billion-dollar business. So we already know that Pookie and Ray Ray, when they shoot somebody, they're going to jail. And I would say that justice is meted out at that point. We don't see justice when a cop or another race of a person kills a black man and he is offered impunity or a not guilty verdict. And every goddamn Ray Charles could see that the nigga, not the nigga, but the guy guilty. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, so that's where I give a little pushback to that. But no, first and foremost, yes, the world sees that we don't love each other. The world sees that we don't love each other. We don't have the affection for each other. And we actually praise the demise of each other. I'm going to offer some stoic some stoic wisdom before we shut down the live stream. I'm going to offer some stoicism here, but I was trying to see if Sir Hell had anything left on this. I see, he might be doing 3-4 shows at one time. But
no, sorry, I got my kids here, so I was actually taking care of something. Sorry about that, but just on what we're talking about, I just think that it's interesting that we feel the need to go back. You know how we grew up on songs where don't forget where you came from. Don't you forget where you came from. Right. And so we in our hearts, we feel the need to go back. But I thought about something. Like we be going back to remember the good times to people who don't mind making us a memory of those good times. Just wipe us out of here. And I think that we have to stop teaching our people to just go back. And we gotta change that whole mindset so that we don't keep on seeing these things kind of happen. And then I do like what you just said moments ago, that we got to care about each other. And this is not so that somebody else can care about us. No, just general principle. We need to care about it. When I see my brother Cam, I don't have to be related to him. He don't got to be my people. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be from the same hood. You know what I'm saying? No, you're my brother. And it's as simple as that. And I think if we get to that, I think things will get better. It ain't no loyalty no more, man. It is no. I grew up, at 35, but I've seen guys straight up fist fight. I mean, after that fist fight, they back on the court playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Like that's the way it's supposed to be.
I'm sorry. I got fired up.
I'm sorry, man. I am too, man. So I'm gonna go on mute. But that's the way to me is. It's my brother Kevin. I'm gonna tell you a real story that happened. Story time, but mindfully misunderstood. So me and my brother Kevin, we got into an argument, and it was bad. We were about to throw fists. After that, it was like, "Hey, bro, look, I'm sorry, man. I took that the wrong way." We have a stronger brotherhoodness, friendship from that day because when you going through with somebody, it shouldn't escalate where you want to see them hurt. That's a time for you guys to work that thing out and become stronger. Today, we don't have any conflict resolution skills. And then most of us are hating on the people closest to us. And I think it's a huge problem. And I think that's what we see playing out. And money doesn't matter. Success doesn't matter. A person's character does. And you can see that no matter how much money they have.
That's real. That's real. So man, Kevin and Sir Hill, yeah, I wonder who the won. But anyhow, listen, carrying on. Hey, because I actually seen Kevin in action. Yeah. And, what a lot of people don't know is that Sir Hill's big brother, Kevin, was my big brother coming up. And Kevin actually put in some work for me a time. Yep. Yeah. I mean, he took care of me, man. Hey, they messing with you? Took care of it. And
on spot.
I swear.
As soon as you said, run Kevin, right out the house.
And you wouldn't think, because he's such a mild-mannered guy, you wouldn't think that but anyhow, I've seen him in action.
Yeah, mess with somebody you care about. I've seen my brother literally say, "Hey, bro, somebody messed." Bro got up out the bed in his socks, right? Just went there.
Hey,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Say with the shits. Yeah, yep. Yeah. That's that's such a good guy. Kevin is a good guy. Yep. By my definition of what good is, meaning you could be bad, but you choose to be good as long as people just let you be good. That's Kevin. But anyhow, carrying on. So now we're gonna shut it down in a minute because I still got a lot of work to do. But I wanted to offer this last piece because to me, I have these conversations about death, and I weird people out. So I wanted to share this piece really quickly. We're gonna dive into it and then we're gonna wrap it up. So 1 second here. Boop. Boop. Boop.
When you awake in the morning, if you are so lucky, it's a bonus. You're happy in the morning because you've been given an extra try. You're playing with house money. The greatest honor that a Roman could receive was a triumph through Rome. You would march victorious, coming home from the battlefield. You'd be led on a chariot. But yet they also had a servant follow close behind who whispered in your ear, memento mori, meaning you are mortal. They wanted someone at their greatest moment of triumph. They wanted them to be reminded that they were still a human, that life was short. I actually carry this coin in my pocket. It says memento mori, and on the back it has a quote from Marcus Aurelius that you could leave life right now. He says, let that determine what you do, say, think. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the concept of memento mori in as short a time as possible to give you what I think is one of the most life-changing exercises in all of Stoic philosophy. Again, in the ancient world, life was very fragile. And yet, even then, they had to remind themselves that they could go at any moment. And I think death, as we have become successful as a society, as we become more and more insulated from tragedy, has receded from the forefront of our consciousness. Shakespeare famously said that every third thought after he retired would be of his grave. I don't know if it has to be that often, but at least once a day, just take a minute to think, I don't know how much time I have left. As Seneca says, we go through life afraid of some things as if we're mortal, but then we treat time as if we are immortal, as if we have an unlimited amount of it, and we don't.
All right. Not going to show the whole video, but essentially, and I'm going to have to go run and grab my my power plug in a minute. Mac is going to die soon, but this is so. As you both know, and I'll let the world know that I practice Stoicism. And one of the Stoic practices is thinking about death every day. In fact, all day long. So, but it's not to be morbid. You know, a lot of people think about death and it's like, oh, woe is me. No, I think of death because I want to be able to enjoy every moment because you don't know how long it's going to last. So I choose to have my moments to be joyful. I want to be happy. I don't have time to focus on the BS, the sadness, and this and that. I'm too busy. I'm counting blessings. I actually call myself a habitual blessing counter. That being said, memento mori actually translates, I think it's Italian, it translates to say, remember you must die. So that being said, I need to go grab my power plug. But one thing that I always think about is the fact that if someone throws you, let's just say 10 of us in a room, and the rule is 10 of us in this room, you cannot leave. 10 of us in the room, at any time, a person can disappear and then another person reappears. And then you got to get to meet them, right? That's the rule. So, but you can kind of prolong your time if you do X, Y, Z, maybe exercise, eat good. You see where I'm going with this. So life, essentially, that's how I view it. We're all in this room, which we call Earth, and we don't know how much time we have with each other. So the only thing we can do is show each other love while we have time, if indeed that's the feeling we have for each other. A lot of times we think that we have tomorrow. And I heard somebody else say that that's one of the most arrogant statements you can say is, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. You don't know that for sure. Have you shown your loved ones love now while you have time? And because the thing about it is we don't belong to each other. I said this to someone else, even as far as your kids, this is where I view it. Your kids don't belong to you. We all belong to nature, because something that belongs to you, you can hold on to it as long as you want to, and you'll let it go when you're ready to release it. But when it doesn't belong to you, you don't know how much time you got. So as long as we have time to cross paths, let's show each other love, because tomorrow might not be promised. And I'm sure the three Migos thought that they were going to grow old together and this and that. And, you know, life happens, man. And that's why, you know, I want to try to close with that point of let's show each other love while we have time, because we don't know how much time we have. We don't know. And so anyone, and that's Ryan Holiday. Sir Hill, are you familiar with Ryan Holiday?
Not sure who that is.
Okay, he does the YouTube, the Daily Stoic. And in fact, he has a bunch of books out. I follow him on YouTube. the Daily Stoic. So yeah, he has a lot of great info. And essentially Stoicism is about essentially what is that? What's the prayer? I forget the name of that prayer where it says, "Give me the strength to."
Oh, the prayer of serenity.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So Stoicism is actually directly tied to that because you're processing things that are within your control and things that are outside of your control. And a lot of times we clog our brains with things that are outside of our control, which is unnecessary. We do ourselves, we actually do ourselves a disservice by focusing on things that are outside of our control, i.e., weather, what other people do, you know, and so on and so forth. So, what do you guys have on this?
I'll let Sir Hill go.
I just wanted to give you a hand clap, my brothers. Sir Charles, Cam, thank you guys for letting me on. I really appreciate it. This is dope, and
thank you,
and awesome. So that's all I got for you tonight.
Okay.
So I'll end with. I just wanted to say, basically, you know, I feel like. So just to go back to something Sir Hale said that made me really think about this. So Myron Golden had he said it on a podcast, and he asked, basically, he said, do you want your child to be responsible? And I was like, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I would love for my kids to be responsible. And then he broke down the word responsibility, and he basically goes on to say, responsibility, when you break that word down, it means to respond with ability. And he goes on to say, a lot of us haven't been taught how to respond with ability. So essentially, you know, when I look at my brothers and sisters that are in those same spots, or who, you know, have anger problems and, you know, shit like that, I always go back to that. You know, sometimes we aren't able to necessarily express how we feel because we've always been taught as men, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to express your feelings or what have you. So like I said, it's I always think about that part. And then the second part to that is every day you wake up, you got a chance and a choice. So your choice is totally up to you, whether you're going to be happy that day, whether you're going to be sad, whether you're going to let somebody ruin your day, what have you. Don't let the negative energy, or don't let somebody have that much power over you where you feel like now your whole day is ruined. Always think of every positive and every negative situation. There's always one positive to every negative situation. So that's all I got, man.
No, that's real. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think the takeaways that I want to offer from tonight's episode is that first and foremost, let's be mindful of the fact that if you have a problem with one or two people, don't include the whole group. You know, I mean, apparently somebody did something right with Ye, because if you were able to do business with someone and amass billions, then that meant somebody believed in you at some point, right? And they gave you a chance. Let's do business together. And secondly, my thing is that we don't know if tomorrow's promised. We all say that, it sounds so cliche. And unfortunately, a lot of times when a death happens, that's the only time we remember that. But me being a stoic, I think about it all the time. And that's why when someone asks me about happiness and all of that, and I say I'm happy 95% of the time, and that's because I don't know when my demise will come, but I don't want to go out being sad or being unhappy or dwelling on some BS. I choose not to pay attention to that, and I think that actually helps me in my relationships because that's my mindset. I'm always happy. You know, people love to see me coming. People love to see me. People hate to see me leave, and that's essentially my brain because I don't know when I'm checking out. So I get on the dance floor. I'm dancing whenever I have a chance. I mean, I'm doing all the wild stuff that I want to do because we don't know. We don't know, and that's the rule. We all got to go at some point. You're not going to get out alive. You ain't getting out alive. So that's my piece on it. If nothing else, we could shut it down because I still have like about 3 hours worth of work left. Right. So Harold, I appreciate you guys. You coming out. The people in the chat, the people who viewed. Thank y'all for showing up, supporting the stream, and we're gonna work on doing at least for now trending topic Tuesdays. So this has been another episode of Mindfully Misunderstood. I'm your host, Sir Charles the God.
And I'm Cam 2 Official.
Yes, sir. And we'll catch y'all next week.
For sure. Peace.